Now at 6, authorities respond to a fatal head-on collision in Barton County. Plus, crews respond to a morning house fire in Webb City. And
firefighters working all types of weather, but how do they stay safe and what about their gear? I'm Monty Walker, and I have that story coming up.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
2 people are dead following a head-on collision on Highway 43 in Barton County near the Nashville Cemetery. This is KOAM News at 6. I'm Anthony Saviello. KOAM's Shannon Becker has the report.
Missouri 43 closed for hours as the investigation and cleanup of a head-on collision. Both drivers did not survive. We learn on scene 2 large commercial vehicles were involved. A FedEx box truck out for delivery and a Kenworth tractor trailer pulling an empty flatbed. Preliminary information from the Missouri State Highway Patrol say the tractor trailer, driven by a 61-year-old man from Knob Noster, Missouri, crossed the center line. He struck the FedEx box truck head-on. It was being driven by a 45-year-old man from Joplin. The crash scene looked like a bomb had gone off. The FedEx truck disintegrated and packages were scattered 100 feet in all directions. It then caught fire. Jasper Fire Rescue had arrived quickly and were able to extinguish the flames. The Barton County Deputy Coroner claimed the bodies of the 2 men at the scene. They now say next of kin have been notified. In Barton County near Nashville, I'm Shannon Becker, KOAM News Now, Joplin News First.
Authorities are just finishing up cleanup and they have reopened Highway 43. Let's go ahead and check in with Chief Meteorologist Doug Hetty for a first look at weather.
Well, of course, another super cold day for us today, but better than what we have seen. Still record low, old record 9 set back in 63. We hit 0 once again, but 26 well below, about half of our average high. But we're going to get there as we go through the next few days. 24 in Joplin, 23 in Pittsburgh. If you are dripping your faucets, keep dripping them through tomorrow, and then you won't have to worry about any pipes bursting or freezing as we get into next week. 21 Stockton, 29 in Anderson, 27 in Grove, Pittsburgh 23, 24 in Chanute. Through the evening, slide back through the teens. I think most of us probably near 10. Later on tonight, we have some clouds that are kind of pushing through, but we're going to continue this warming trend into the weekend. Temperatures will start to get above freezing once we get into Saturday afternoon. So we're going to look at that here in just a bit.
All right, Doug, see you soon. Firefighters battle a house fire in Webb City. It happened this morning in the 700 block of Oronogo. Firefighters quickly knocked down active flames, putting out huge clouds of white smoke. Everyone was out safely and there are no reported injuries. With today's temperatures and a large amount of water on the road, it could be slick later today. Webb City Police tell us their public works department will come by to treat the roadway. Firefighters serve the public no matter the weather conditions, but how do they protect themselves and their equipment from the bitter cold? KOAM's Lonnie Walton talked to fire officials from Fort Scott and Reddings Mill about their experience.
We've had instances where our gloves will freeze, our clothing will freeze.
David Bruner is the fire chief for Fort Scott Fire Department. He says there's no special clothing for firefighters when it comes to extreme weather. They suit up just like everyone else.
So some of the conditions and some of the precautionary measures we take is to make sure that all of our guys have an extra set of gloves, an extra hood.
Reddings Mill Fire Battalion Chief David Hayes says the same thing.
Combating the cold, we're just like anybody else that's going to be out in the weather. You know, we're going to dress in layers and try to stay warm that way.
The fire chief says in order to help keep them safe, they get help from other sources as well.
Our EMS service is really good with preparing us for making sure that we have a warm place to go in and out of.
The Newton County Ambulance has a rehab trailer. It's a trailer that comes out that has a heater in it. And
what about those jackets they wear? Don't they help?
It protects as much as anything else, as much as we can, yeah.
To keep the equipment from freezing, Bruner says the fire department does the same thing everyone else should be doing at home.
In your house, when it's cold, we want to trickle your faucets to make sure that the water stays running. It's the same thing as the fire hoses here.
And both fire officials say you should do these things to help keep you safe.
some snacks and some water and a blanket, you know, just in case something does happen. Hopefully nothing does.
Like this, we always want you to make sure that you heat your home properly. Be aware of anything that you have, any heating appliances, make sure that you have them 3 feet away from that appliance.
Reporting in Fort Scott, I'm Lonnie Walton, KOAM News.
Bruner goes on to say working in extreme weather conditions, whether hot or cold, always bring extra challenges for firefighters. A 6-year-old boy in Missouri is being hailed as a hero after saving his family from a house fire last week. He alerted the family in time for them to escape the flames. Megan Kernan reports.
What did you think, Stephen, whenever it was happening?
I think I should do the right thing.
And that's exactly what 6-year-old Stephen Langley did.
After I had gotten supper and everything ready, I went just really quickly to jump into the shower, and before I did that, I lit a candle.
Stephen's mom, Cheyenne Langley, says she put the candle on the edge of her bookcase, and not even 10 minutes later,
Xander came into the bathroom and said, "Mommy, I smell smoke."
I was crying, and then I said, "Mommy," and then she jumped out of the shower.
The freak accident, I don't know if the candle exploded or if it caught something on the bookcase on fire, but by the time I got out, my whole entire bookcase was covered in flames.
The fire started spreading quickly from the primary bedroom to their children's rooms.
I just grabbed a towel really quick, grabbed all my kids, and alerted my husband and my father-in-law downstairs, and we just ran outside.
The outside of their house on Amherst might not look badly damaged, but inside it's completely destroyed with smoke damage and soot covering every floor. University City Deputy Chief Fire Marshal Fred Kramer says the 6-year-old alerted his family before the smoke detector went off.
That it's some of the worst smoke damage, from one-room fire, that could have hampered them from getting out of the house if he had not done what he did as quick as he did.
Stephen's quick actions saved his family.
We have always told him that when there is an emergency to alert someone, so I'm glad that he did that.
He did exactly what he was supposed to do, and he helped get his family out before the fire got worse.
The home was insured, but the family will be displaced for several months. The blaze destroyed nearly all their belongings. A GoFundMe page has been set up for the family. Visitors at the Miami Public Library worked on Body and Mind today. Their story coming up. But up first, some Missouri lawmakers propose a registry for expectant mothers, but not without some controversy. Some Missouri lawmakers want women at risk of seeking an abortion to be added to a registry. They say it would make adoptions easier, but the opposition says it puts private information at risk. Brian Johnson has the story.
House Bill 807 would create a new division of maternal and child resources. The state would maintain a central registry of each expectant mother who is at risk of seeking an abortion and facilitate adoptive services and resources.
Could we do a comprehensive plan that other states would look at to make adoption easier and less costly?
Representative Phil Amato is the sponsor. He wants to reduce the costs of adoptions and streamline the process.
I gave these adoption attorneys a blank canvas and said, paint the picture. Nobody knows your job better than you do.
Tuesday, the bill had its first hearing. Already, he plans to modify it and make the registry voluntary.
This isn't the type of job where you should allow for someone with a particular interest to just hand you some legislation and tell you to go and file it.
Representative Rachel Prouty is on the House Children and Families Committee.
Trash is trash. This bill was trash.
She argues not only Democrats but Republicans should also dislike the bill. She says this grows the government, costs taxpayers millions annually, and puts at risk very personal, private information.
There is a robust difference between intention and impact.
Both lawmakers support helping families.
The programs outlined by the bill would cost about $32 million each year to administer. Visitors to the Miami Public Library received healthy benefits for body and mind. The library's health literacy program held a free Tai Chi class. Not only was the event free to the public, visitors of all ages were welcome.
They own it, it's theirs. However they do it is however they do it. Even if you're older than I am, I'm 62, but the oldest person I have was 92. And so far, knock on wood, I haven't had anybody fall, right, doing it, because I'm very careful.
Grant funding made the Tai Chi class possible. The classes are open to the public on Fridays from 1 to 2 p.m. and 4 to 5 p.m. Well, a little later, it's Expo 2025 in Pittsburgh.
Plus, our temperatures, they are going to start to warm back up. Those details coming up next. Well, of course, another super cold day for us today, but we did get into the 20s. Yesterday, 13, today, 26. So in a sense, we can say we doubled it. Not too bad. And at least most of the roads, main roads, are looking pretty good. We still have a lot of side streets that are snow-packed, but as our temperatures get above freezing tomorrow and well above it on Sunday, we're going to go into massive melt mode over the next few days. Still cold this evening, so again, keep dripping your faucets as our temperatures, we haven't been above freezing now in 4 days, but we slide back through the teens. Could get a little bit of patchy fog out there later on tonight. Outside right now, we're sitting at 24 in Carthage, 27 in Neosho, 25 in Miami. Chanute checking in at 24, 20 in Iola. But the brunt of this Arctic air, it's going to leave the lower 48. It's going to go back to where it should stay up into parts of Canada, and our temperatures are going to greatly improve, especially as we get into next week. Have some clouds kind of skirting through. It's not a big deal. There's a few flurries up toward Kansas City, but this is a weak system. There's a little spin just to the west of Wichita. Very weak system, so it's giving us clouds. That's it. Out toward the west, another little weak system, but there's no big storm systems lining up, meaning for us, we're in a sense a lull in the pattern for about the next 10 days. Once we get into March 3rd-ish, things will start to pick up just a bit. All right, lower teens tonight. Should get above freezing by noon. I think most of us are going to top out 36, 37, 38 degrees. Case in point, 36 in Stockton, but 41 in Gravette, 41 in Bonita, Parsons up to about 36 degrees. Tomorrow night, because we are going to go into melting mode, we're going to have a little extra moisture at the surface, meaning some patchy fog, and it could be dense, so watch out for that. And then once we go into Sunday, look at our high temperatures. Upper 40s to lower 50s once you get into our southern counties. And then temperatures Sunday night, we only drop back near freezing, so we are getting much, much better as we go through the next few days. All right, 37 Saturday, above freezing, 49 Sunday, so warmer, and massive snow melt as we go into the weekend. And anything that's really left around by Monday or Tuesday is going to disappear very quickly. Look at this, Monday, temps right around 60 degrees. We have some clouds kind of working through. Look at this on Tuesday, 63, 64, 65 degrees. Our average high is 51, so we're going to be about 15 degrees above average. Weak little system shoots by on Wednesday, so we get northerly winds, but still high temperatures, upper 50s to near 60 degrees. Let's do it again. Let's go to Thursday, highs near 60. Friday, highs near 60. And then we're going to get some rain showers trying to push in here, especially Friday night into Saturday. Until then, we're pretty calm. 37 tomorrow, 25 tomorrow night. 48 Sunday, 60 on Monday, 64 on Tuesday, 58 Wednesday. But temperatures near 60 all next week. After the past 2 weeks, we've been in the deep freeze.
It's hard to believe, you know. It's kind of a...
It's gonna feel like shorts weather.
Yeah, it's gonna, absolutely. Thanks, Doug. Still ahead, Pittsburgh High School basketball hosts Fort Scott for an SEK League rivalry game. And 5 Columbus Titans signed to play their sports at the next level. John Dales has those stories and more up next in sports.
It's been a bit of a slow week for high school sports here in the 4 states, but this morning is a busy one for a few Columbus Titans. 5 seniors at Columbus High School signed this morning to play their sport at the next level. Tori Tedlock is headed to NEO for softball. Her teammate Haley Ediger will play softball at Hutchinson Community College. Carter Henry signs with Evangel University for football. And Jack Valela and Jace Midget, both of them will be playing baseball at Coffeyville Community College.
Well, I've always been around NEO. My sister played soccer there when she went there, so I've always been familiar with NEO. And I got the chance to go on a visit there, and it just felt perfect.
I had talked to them at a recruiting tournament, and they got in contact with me immediately, and I went on a visit from there. And they wanted me to commit pretty soon, but I needed lots of time to think, and I had a lot of other visits, but no other place felt like Hutch.
It feels pretty awesome, I won't lie. I mean, knowing this is where the Lord wants me, and, having so much support from my family and my coaches and my friends, I mean, it's a great feeling, really. I love this community, love the team, it's an awesome scenario.
Man, Jack, just help me with who I am today. Like, we go hit together every single day, and he helps me get better, and I just like my brother. So, like, it's just awesome going there with him.
Yeah, he's like my brother. We've been like brothers for years. He'll be my roommate, so it's cool. I got somebody in Coffeyville that I know for sure.
High school basketball playoffs are right around the corner, and teams are hoping to hit their stride as we get towards the end of the regular season. Tonight, we've got an SEK League rivalry game over in Pittsburgh. The Purple Dragons play host to Fort Scott. The Lady Tigers come into tonight ranked 5th in Class 4A. They're 13-3 so far this season. The Lady Dragons, they're 10-8, but they've really hit their stride in the new year. Pittsburgh has won 6 of its last 7. That game got tipped off at 6. Then the boys will play at 7:30. Pittsburgh's been up and down this season. Dragons are 7-11. It's their final home game on their schedule. Fort Scott, meanwhile, 2-14. Tigers' only victories have come against Colgan and Girard. We'll have highlights from both contests tonight at 9 and 10. Moving over towards professional basketball, tonight the Thunder play their first game back from the All-Star break. They're on the road at Utah. OKC begins this second part of the season with a 44-10 record. That's 8 games better than everybody else in the Western Conference, and it's just a half game behind the Cavs for the best record in the NBA. The Jazz, meanwhile, they're 13-41. That record is second to worst in the Western Conference. This one scheduled for an 8:30 p.m. tip-off. That's it for sports. We're back after this.
Well, here's a look at what's coming up on KOAM News at 9 on Fox 14. We'll take a look at how firefighters are also having to fight the cold during winter months. Plus, the city of Pittsburgh hosts its 2025 Business Expo, and a new Cold War takes place on the hockey rink. Those stories and a lot more tonight on KOAM News at 9 on Fox 14. Well, the Pittsburgh Area Chamber of Commerce kicked off the 2025 Business Expo with its wonderful World of Business Chamber Coffee, sponsored by Quick Sip. KOAM's very own Chris Warner emceed the event, setting the stage for tomorrow's expo, where around 30 businesses are expected to showcase their products and services at the Meadowbrook Mall. The excitement is already brewing with the announcement of the Biz Expo decorating contest winners, highlighting creativity and community spirit.
The opportunity to meet face-to-face with their customers. We have so many great businesses in this area, in the Pittsburgh area, and I think sometimes it's easy for even some of our residents to not realize how many great businesses that we have.
Businesses are gearing up for the 2025 Business Expo with 30 vendors set to showcase their products and services. The event starts tomorrow at 10 at the Meadowbrook Mall. One of our very own Chris Warner. You can't really see him in the crowd sometimes.
He's a little guy, but I'm glad he was out there representing.
Absolutely.
There, yeah. All right, temperatures warming up as we head into the weekend. 37 tomorrow, so we get above freezing, which is great. 48 on Sunday, and then it's going to feel like we are in the month of May all next week with temperatures into the 60s for highs in respect to our temperature this week.
Looking forward to it either way. Thanks for watching. We'll see you right back here at 10. Have a great evening.